Welcome everybody to the Brother Speak Podcast. This is Brother Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. The new subscribers is coming in, and I'm very appreciative of new subscribers. And it's growing. I'm gonna hit that 100. You know, I'm you know now that I'm trying to take it a little more seriously. I'm trying to get that 100. Then we get into that 200. Slowly but surely, I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get there. It's a marathon, not a race, so it is what it is. Uh, so let's continue on with Mr. Locario on the SOS podcast, and I have to say, I was very proud of Mr. Locario because he wasn't yelling and screaming when they were coming at him, questioning his lifestyle. I've seen a lot of black dudes in these podcasts, in these panels, will lose their shit. And he didn't do that. He stayed calm, respectful, stayed on his square, never lost his cool. And that's a good thing. That's how I want black men to interact with these white folks. And just spit logic, facts, be able to stand on the square. I don't respect when dudes are yelling and screaming at a white person and losing their cool. Like I told them on DJ Torch's live stream yesterday, and shouts out to DJ Torch, had me on there. I I I want black men to be able to stand up to these white folks and still stay masculine. I don't want them to be losing their shit, yelling and screaming and hollering like a fool. And then we have black women supporting that. That's not a good look. I do not support black men acting anything less than a man. I'm sorry. I don't. I just don't. I'm sorry. And no black woman should be supporting that. No black people should be supporting that. But we find that a lot of times black people support that. And then they get mad because these dudes don't act like men. When you support these men to be anything less than a man. So that's what I said. I really enjoy Mr. Locario here. Now, with that said, let's continue on with this live stream that he was in. And let me get the link here. So follow me. That is the link to that podcast that was on there. It's called Alpha Males versus Modern Feminists, SOS Cast, episode 93. Check that out. Check out the whole thing. It is 2 hours long, but it's not gonna feel 2 hours. I'm gonna let you know that right there. So let's get into the rest of it. We stopped there. I'm gonna go back a little bit. That I want to go back a little bit to the 50. right here. We can go back right here. And
Man.
But it's not even about that though. You see if I'm your man, right? Whatever I'm telling you to do, whatever instructions I'm giving you, you should do that. So if I'm making 40K and I say, listen, we need to make 80K, I'm gonna need you to go get this job, work from this time to this time. So you're still listening to me, and that would be like a traditional woman. You're listening to your man. You're basically following his lead. You feel what I'm saying?
It depends on
so
who the man is.
right. So
Wouldn't
either
you
way,
say-
it's the same concept.
But wouldn't you say if you put your woman in that position and then she gets to a point maybe she starts to make more than you, now you pushed her into being more of a modern woman because of your set of instructions?
No, because you know why? Because it's not about the money. It's about the man. So she's listening to me because she finds value in me and she sees me as that guy. So I could be making $1 a year. It doesn't matter. She could be making $1 million a year. If my woman's making $1 million a year and I'm making $1 a year, I have $1,001,001. You see what I'm saying? And then all I'm doing is I'm creating the structure of my relationship. And so she's following me because I'm the man. So the money is inconsequential. The only reason money becomes an issue, and I always tell guys this, it becomes an issue because she never saw you as a man in the first place. And she was basically seeing you as money. So now let's say a guy lost his job or something. He was making good money, 6 figures, whatever. He loses his job. She doesn't respect him anymore. You see this happen a lot. Or she wants to divorce him, or she's doing whatever it is because she never respected him in the first place. She was only with him because of what he can do for her and provide him and for that situation. But she didn't like the man behind the money. She has to like the man behind the money. So it doesn't matter how much money she's making. She likes the man behind the money, and that's what it is.
So I'm gonna give you like yes, I agree, and then a disagree.
Now, I do agree with that to the extent, like if the woman don't like you for you, there is no point in having that. It is going to be a transactional relationship, because if she ain't liking you for you outside of your money, that's when the money goes, she go. You know, that's how that goes, and so it has to be more than the money. Now, you saw that bit extreme that he did the extreme, but a lot of times it's not that extreme where she has $1 million, he got $1. Usually, like she might make 70K, he probably making 40, or he making 50, she making 70, depending on what job you at and all that kind of stuff. Or she may make 1,000 more, but at the end of the day, if she don't like you for you, it doesn't really matter. The money's gonna be, and she's just getting with you for the money. And now, especially when women are making more money, that money piece ain't gonna matter too much. It's still important, but not too much, because especially if she's making her own. Now it's got to be, what about you will make her want to stay? What about you may support you? Yeah.
Agree. So if you don't mind, totally understand. The woman has to respect the man, like she has to be attracted to him. He's got to be a leader, all that, and then some.
Right.
But I also think it's fair to say, based on the principle of hypergamy, and I know that you're being sort of outlandish with the $1 million versus $1, but I don't think these days a chick is going to be with some dude that ain't bringing home the bacon. I just don't.
But that's the thing. The reason why she won't be with him, like I said, hypergamy only matters when you're the regular burger, like I was saying earlier. Because if your woman is with you, but mainly she's with you just for money, then if I meet another guy who has more money than you, then I'm going to leave you for the guy who has more money than you. But if she's with you because she loves you, the man who you are, she can't find a better you. She can't find another you. You're the only one of your kind. So therefore, if she respects you, it doesn't matter how much money you're making or she's making. Everything is going to be how it needs to be because you already implanted that situation in her.
This is the importance of it. Not everything is black and white. There's a gray area, but I think I hear you and I understand that. And I think there's a lot of men out there that are like, yeah, I agree, Locario for sure. But I also think that you're kind of discounting lifestyle. If a dude is not able to provide the lifestyle that woman wants, she's going to be like, all right, you're great. You're awesome. You're bringing it in all ways plus Sunday. But I'm paying your bills. I'm paying the rent. I'm the one paying for flights.
I agree.
I'm going to go find some dude that is just as dope as you, but he's going to pay for my lifestyle.
But see, and that's
I don't know if this, I think you're kind of discounting the financial aspect.
I don't know. I dated somebody and I made more money than them, but he provided a lot of the other things. I didn't give a fuck. Let's buy flights.
Which again, I would say a lot of black relationships is like that, especially now. I mean, especially in the last 20 years. I would say even 40 years. You can make an argument for longer than that. Especially with the whole thing of incarceration, the drug war. There were a lot of guys who could not when they got out, they couldn't get a job because of felonies. These laws that depending on the felony, you ain't getting no job. So they literally were dependent on a woman until they get back on their feet. Hell, I can say that me and my wife, when we got together, I was kind of living off of her for a bit until I got my job. And that's the thing that sort of happens. But here's the thing, you as a man can't just be so dependent on that and to the point where no, you just don't do nothing. So I can understand I think it's okay if the man is doing something, he's struggling. Yeah, she should be supporting it. But I will say not off the bat. Like, if this dude ain't got shit, no, you shouldn't be just, oh, let me buy you this, and this. And like, oh no, that's no, bro. I'm never comfortable with even if I had nothing, I would not be wanting to get with a woman. I'm just not doing that. My brothers did that. My brother in jail right now doing that same shit. He ain't got nothing, but he with a woman, with a bum ass woman. He been in jail for over a year because this woman, she started not respecting him, called the cops on him. Now, she did this twice. The first time, nothing happened. The second time, she accused him of kidnapping, assault, kidnapping. He in jail right now. He been in jail for over a year. White woman. And my brother like, I can't believe. And I had to tell him, I said, well, you were a white woman. And when a white woman say you did something, y'all, you know how this world feel about white women in trouble, even if they a bum ass chick. Because that woman was a bum ass chick. So when they talk about black women being bum, they use the system and all that. No, bro. This white chick was just a bum. She ain't worth shit. And when they talk about black women, white men protect their women, no, they do not. This chick was like, if you want to say people burn all their bridges, this chick burned their bridges. I remember, I was paying the rent for a little halfway house for them. And the guy that owned the house was like, "What's up with her? Why? What's up? Where her family at?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. That's her and my brother. That ain't me. I'm helping them out. Well, I'm mainly helping my brother out. She just here." And I kind of saw some problems come around, and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to end. And well, like I said, he in jail. He been in jail for a year. Hopefully he'll get out. But that's what I say, man. Depending on women, and if you ain't got your shit together, you get with the wrong woman, and you think white is better. I'm gonna tell you. We were talking about that yesterday. I'm like, a lot of these dudes don't be around white women like that. You're not around white women. I'm like, I've been around white women. I've been around white people. That's why I don't look at them like these inspiring people. I don't look at them like that. I've been around them. I work with them. I've been friends with them. So I don't look at them like any different. I'm like, I don't look around where the snow bunnies at. I'm like, some of them are crazy, and even if they got money, they crazy. Not to make this a race thing, but but back to the point, yeah, someone will take care of you if they really, really like you. But what you don't do is abuse that. When you abuse that, that's when the bitterness come out. Now, next thing you know, now you're on child support. Now you can't go see your kids like you want to. Let's continue.
Let's go to LA. Let's do this. Want a PS5?
How long did you date him for?
But then I
How
felt
long?
like he was a year.
Okay. And why'd you
So-
break up with him?
Because towards the end of the relationship, he stopped being able to provide that emotional security.
But see,
Provide.
And
but see,
so
check this
then-
out,
he
check
got
this out.
insecure
once
because
he
you were
stopped
making more
being able
money.
to provide the emotional security, then I'm like, why the fuck am I paying for this man's flights? Somebody else would be paying for my flights.
check
And I
this out.
started thinking about the
But check
money.
this out. See, this is the issue though.
She's looking for the BBD.
Right,
I'm
and
not
notice-
talking about what you got going on. I'm talking about bigger, better
and notice
deal.
what you said. You said paying for her lifestyle.
Yeah.
See, that's the issue. See, if a man gets with a woman, it's not about her lifestyle. This is why a man has to put a woman into his lifestyle. She has to become part of his program. And that's the problem with a lot of men. They're going along with the woman's program, which is why she doesn't respect him in the first place, which is why she's going to jump from him to another guy because she never respected him because he never had a program. So when her lifestyle is supposed to be his lifestyle, meaning that she's supposed to be following him. So if I like to skydive, the woman I'm with should love to skydive, not because I like it, but because she likes.
That look never gets old. That look never gets old. Like, what the fuck? That look never gets old. Yeah, like I said last time, and I think this is a key point that Locario said. You're getting into her lifestyle. Now, it's fine if y'all lifestyles link up, but if you're going to be the leader, yes, she should be getting into your lifestyle, and it should fit into her lifestyle. If it don't, it's going to be a clash. Whether you into anime, whether you into, like he said, skydiving. I don't think she necessarily have to like skydiving too, but she should be supportive of what you're doing. I know he uses the extremes, but it's a shocker. But there is some truth to that. It's just like I said yesterday. I was at the anime convention. I'm at adult Adult Video Expo. They got couples together. Black, white, Hispanic, but they all share that commonality. They like what they're doing together. And if you don't have that, yeah, you're gonna have a clash. I was just looking at something this morning on Sexy Red, and there was this chick got 7 kids. Talking about she didn't go with the last guy because he was too Christian. Even though I'm like, you had a baby with this guy, and you had premarital sex, which is against every Christian value, but hey, you know how we play with God. I'm like, I hate that playing with God. I hate that playing with Jesus. I hate that shit. That's why I don't go to church. I don't play with religion. I don't play with the Bible. If you're not gonna follow me, why are you preaching it? But anyway, she was upset because he was too Christian, whatever that means. But the point of it is, if y'all not equally yoked on whatever y'all trying to do, what's the point? You're going to clash, and the relationship's going to fail. So, yeah. So I understand what he was saying about that. She should be bringing into his lifestyle, and her lifestyle should fit what he's doing. How it should be.
Said she found the man she wants to follow in that direction to continue to do that. The problem is men get with women where the woman is using him for her benefit and not to benefit the situation.
Let me say one thing, and then I know you had a point to make regarding the money, but let me say one thing. You know how they say that your network is your net worth? All right, who do you surround yourself with? Your network is your net.
Deep, connection to the dude. It's very surface level. So money is always surface level. And so what happens is of course, if you're a surface level dude, then yeah, definitely what you're saying is going to happen. Meaning that if she finds someone who has more than you, she's going to be gone. That makes perfect sense. But the problem is that if you're a guy who doesn't know how to influence his woman, then she's going to be gone. Check this out. For example, I'm non-monogamous. My wife and girlfriend can see other men, right? I've been with my wife for 15 years. My wife's been with guys who are taller than me. I don't know about better looking. I think I'm the flyest dude ever, but right? Let's say she's been with guys better looking than me, more fit than me, have more money than me, right? And these guys, they would try, you know what I'm saying? They could try to get at her and everything like that, and she's still here with me. But the reason why she's with me is because I've influenced her. Like if you were to talk to my wife or even my girlfriend, some of the stuff they say would sound like you're talking to me. And that's because I have influence over them. The problem is most guys don't have influence over their woman, so it's easy for the girl to stray. This is why I used to sleep with women who were wives and girlfriends, meaning that these women actually had boyfriends and husbands. And the reason why it was so easy for me to sleep with them, and this is when I was super broke, I was sleeping with women who had husbands who had millions of dollars, who made 6 figures. And the reason why I was able to do that was because those guys had no influence over their woman. So it was really easy for me to take their girl. I had women, check this out. I've actually saved marriages because I would have to tell the woman to go back to their man. They were trying to leave their man for me, and I was broke. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so give me an example of what you were doing.
Hey, D. DeVille, what's going on? And yeah, I know this. Of course, we know Locario's open marriage, and unlike most guys, it's open on both ends. It's like, hey, you can go date whoever, be with whoever, But make it like look, if he lying, he's very convincing because he's looking at people dead in the eye and saying that stuff. I believe it. I've been in swing groups, and I know the black dude who, literally guy could be fucking his wife. He just sitting there, and like two guys who like that. They let their wives sleep with whoever. Like, well, I mean, as long as the dude ain't rude and acting a fool, you know. I remember this one guy, man. We was in the swinging club, and you know his wife was doing her thing, and and it looked like dude was about to act the fool. That dude came out of nowhere. I didn't even know where he was. He just popped up out of nowhere. I mean, and this guy is not a small guy. He's like, I want to say 6'2", built. Just popped out of nowhere. What the fuck? Say, hey, bro, you gotta go. That dude was intimidating. I was like, man, just like, I did not want to mess with that man ever. But he was letting his wife smash everybody. Everybody can get it, you know. Long as the wife was okay with it, you let them smash. So there's black guys out there, because we already know what white people they into. But there are black guys who allow that stuff, man. And so to say that it's not possible that he's lying, you know, if I wasn't participating in the swinging lifestyle all those years ago, I'd be like, yeah, that dude lying. He lying. That now, nah, I don't. I can't say that. I've seen too much to be like, no, nobody lying. Everybody got a different lifestyle. It's just that we don't know about it. If you're not in those groups, you're not gonna know. That's why, like, some of these things, these guys and some of these women be saying on these platforms, I'm like, y'all really never live. You really don't know. You're in this bubble. Locario selling dreams. Let me be clear. D-Durrell, a lot of guys are not gonna be able to pull what Locario is talking about. You gotta be a certain type of guy to be able to do that. You gotta be a certain type of guy to do that. And if you're not that guy, good luck to you. It's not gonna work out. It's going to bomb. I've seen that happen. I remember this one couple. They were swinging, and what Mr. Locario is talking about happened. They were swinging. The thing was, they weren't doing it because they both enjoy swinging. They were doing it to try to repair their marriage, in which I will say this to any couple who is trying, if you want to get into the swinger lifestyle, do not try to do this to repair your marriage. It's not going to work. If you're a dude trying to get with other women while your wife there, don't do this lifestyle. It's not going to work for you, because here's where the problem going to come in. If you're trying to repair you're trying to repair something that's wrong in your marriage. If she don't feel appreciated, any dude could come in and come get your girl. And it's not the guy's fault. It's that guy. It's the man who I watch a lot of his content. He sells false hopes. Well, you watch it more than I do. You know, yeah, I look at it from time to time. I mostly look at him on Facebook because I'm subscribed to his Facebook page. And I just, like you said, I think a lot of dudes ain't gonna be able to pull off But back to the guy who was the swinger, and what happened was his woman met a guy. Yeah. She met another guy. She was about to leave him for the guy. And I'm like, well, dude, I watch two to three videos a week. Wow. Are you D-Darrell, are you trying to scope out the competition? Are you trying to scope the competition? I'm like, hey, I mean, hey, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're a dating coach, you're a dating coach, and you gotta see what works, what don't work. I mean, hey, but and so they were having big issues, and then when me and my wife we was swinging too, he tried to take my wife from me. I'm like, nice try, buddy. I was like, nice try, buddy. You seen my videos? Yeah, I've seen a few, and but I haven't been watching them in a minute, so I need to go back. I need to start watching yours too, and I would trust you more than probably Locario. You're all therapist, so you will probably come at it from more of a therapeutics standpoint than him. He's not a therapist. He's just going by what he see. So, but yeah, but like I said, if the new videos are lit, yeah, I'm gonna have to check them out. But yeah, like I said, if y'all gonna get into the swinging lifestyle or even an open marriage, do not try to do this to repair a marriage. Get your marriage fixed first. Whatever issues that you're having in your relationship, fix that first. Women from all over the country. Yeah, that's what you got to do, because these dudes be talking about, oh, these American women ain't like, okay, dude. First of all, where you meeting these women at? I'm like, God damn, that's like, you want to go? Look, I'm not saying don't go to another country and nothing like that. I am in support. If you don't feel like America ain't for you, by all means, get the F out. But don't do it because the women, you running from the women. That's weak stuff. And it's like with those passport guys, you going over there. Okay, you over there now. You're not with American women no more. I know if it was me, if I was with Becky or Maylene or Maria, I'm not talking about black women. I would not care. I'm with her. Even if I was with an African woman, I would not be talking about black women, black American women anyway. I'm with my African woman. Matter of fact, I got dudes at my job trying to get me married. I'm like, to the hey, what about these women? What about these women? I'm like, but I'm not interested in marriage. I'm like, we can date and stuff, but marriage, no. Because like they said, the Africans they about marriage. At the end of the day, I'm like, sorry. I mean, we can mess around, we can date, but marriage, no, that's a big step, and I'm not prepared for that yet. Yeah, but the point of it with like you said, D-Darrell, a lot of guys are not going to be able to pull off what Mr. Locario is pulling off. You got to have a certain mindset. If you don't have that mindset, if it's about the women putting them more on a pedestal than yourself, you're not going to be able to do what Mr. Locario doing. There's no way you're going to be able to do that, because either you're going to get jealous or you're gonna turn into a cuck, and you don't want to be and not not the cuck that knows what's going on. You're gonna be the cuck that don't know what's going on. And this chick is bringing babies to you, and you don't even know whose baby it is, or you taking care of somebody else's baby, and you thinking it's yours. It's like, no, you don't want that type of action. Anyway, let me continue. I'm ranting.
To command that type of influence, and basically having a woman that's married to some multimillionaire trying to hang out with some broke dude.
Right. And the reason is this, is that one, she was attracted to who I am. Like, I'm completely honest. I don't bullshit. I'm consistent. I let them know exactly what it is. They get a taste of who I am. So what happens is, in comparison to her man, she's like, okay, this guy is totally different than any guy I've ever met. My guy is cookie cutter. He's like any other guy. He's making 6 figures, but all of these other guys make 6 figures too. So there's nothing different about him. It's different about my man, but there's something different about Locario. That small little thing is what drew her into me. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is that it was easy for me to take his girl because he didn't have any influence. Now, I did run into women who their men actually had more influence over their girl, and those were the hardest girls to get. Some of them I couldn't do it because they were so about their man, and I respected it. Because I was like, that guy has influence over his girl. So that's all I'm saying. Influence is very important. But in order to influence a woman, you have to first be able to influence yourself as a man, because that's the only way she's going to believe you, because you believe you. You see what I'm saying?
All I'm hearing in my head right now is Mr. Still your girl? Is Mr. Still your
Locario, can I
girl?
ask you a question?
Yeah, and then I want to turn it to Mark. Go ahead.
Just real quick. Do you want kids, and do you have kids?
Oh no, I don't want any kids. I don't have any kids. Yeah.
Because I think it's important to clarify that the lifestyle that you're describing, it works for you. I think it's probably a lot of fun. It will not work for a family.
Oh no, it does actually.
I don't believe that.
I'll tell you.
I do not believe that for 1 second.
No, I'll tell you right. There's actually a couple.
Before you answer that, how old are you?
41.
You're 41.
Yeah. So there's actually a couple. There's a couple you could Google them. It's called Juju Mama, and this couple, they're in an open marriage.
And you think their kids are okay?
They have 3 kids. Yes.
You think their kids are well-rounded individuals?
They're well-rounded.
No,
awesome. They're awesome. You can Google them.
If they are, it's an exception to the rule.
Say again?
Mark.
Thank you.
So he doesn't want a family. Great question. Give me what you agree with and.
Now, I'm going to say this. I could kind of see where she would have an issue, but I do think, again, if nobody knows what you're doing, like if the children don't know and they just see mama and dad and nigga lying for D the real, let me ask you, since that question brought up, like, have you known any like couples who swinger and be in an open marriage, and have they come to you, and have they been having problems, or the children of those couples be having problems? Because you would know more than I do. I'm more of, unless people just really putting it out there that they doing this, I'm like, most children probably wouldn't know that they're open couples, because yes, many. Okay, and maybe so. I don't know, because I'm like, most of the swinger couples that I've been like, if you saw them out in public, you really wouldn't know what they doing. You have to be in that lifestyle. So I wouldn't think that'd be a problem if the kids just don't know. But I've seen some stuff on even Twitter, like they have this thing out there. I'm like, dude, I now, okay, if you about that life, you about that life. But damn, when you put it out on the internet, you know your kids can see this. If they seen their mommy getting drilled by a bunch of dudes, I don't know. That's gonna mess with a boy. And seeing your dad effing other women other than your mom, that's gonna mess with them. The couples that function like this are couple who practiced this before they got together. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I was saying earlier. You can't use this to try to repair a marriage. You have to come. That has to be from the jump. I've seen, like I said, I've seen couples who try to do that. It don't work out. But most because there's one partner will want to stop. Actually, that what happened with my my ex. She wanted to stop, so we stopped. And that's what it should be. I mean, if they want to stop, we gotta stop. And I know, but at that same time, one person don't want to stop, one person do, and then they're gonna break up because that's how that happens. But yeah, like I said, if you're trying to do this to repair marriage, it's not gonna work. If you're doing it at the jump, hey, this is how I live, this is how I am, then hey, it's gonna work out better. And more importantly, the children ain't gonna probably know unless you're just putting it out there and like. So it's going to be a case by case basis. I will put it like that. Depends on that couple, what they doing, and how much they put in front of the children. Because some of the I've seen on Twitter and OnlyFans, I'm like, man, if these kids see this shit, it's gonna fuck them up. It's gonna fuck those boys up. Seeing their mom getting ran through by everybody, I'm like, God. I'm like, dude, why would you do that? It's okay if you ain't got children, but some of them probably have children. All they gotta do is look online, especially Twitter. Twitter is like the new Pornhub. You can see everything. And I'm like, damn, they got a Twitter account and they see their mom getting ran through by a bunch of black dudes. Sorry, they're gonna fuck that boy up. Sorry. It's gonna fuck him up. I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't want to see that. Caught my head when I was really young in the ad. I was like, oh, I'm like, you want to see that in life again? Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm good. But anyway, so like I said, with that, it's the case by case, and like you said, D-Real, eventually one's going to want to stop, and either the other person going to be willing to stop, or they're going to break up.
What you disagree with what Locario just said? Is there anything you agree with?
Yeah, there's definitely pieces. I think when he says influence, he's talking about having a sort of a building blocks. He's talking about being more than just money. So he's talking about let's build something together. There's lots of studies around marriage that show that the influence should go in both directions. If it's just her influencing him, all too often she'll end up without having a voice, and she'll end up basically just living his life, and somewhat like your mum ended up. That's how women can end in those situations where they don't have a voice. They're not able to put themselves out there. I mean, I would disagree that the women who were cheating on their husbands with you were doing it because like they just thought you were amazing and so different. I'm sure you are all those things. But at the end of the day, though, those women weren't getting their needs met in their relationship, and they didn't know how to communicate that, or they had given up on communicating that. Their relationship was dead, and they found something that an outsider could give them that they could no longer get in their relationship. So the cheating is the end of a long story of relationship problems because either her or her husband didn't have the skills to communicate that stuff.
I have a concern that like the average Joe who's
Now, I think what kind of Mark was kind of missing the. Now, actually, D-Durrell, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna ask you now. What Mark said about the influence, that the man should have an influence and the woman should have an influence. Do you believe it should be both ways, or do you think it should be one way? And what if it's one way where the man is influencing the woman? Would that cause a problem, or should it be both ways, or is it usually both ways and not just one way? I want to get your opinion on that. Yeah, and I think it's going to be reciprocal regardless, because I mean, if you even if you are the leader, you do take some cues from, like, let's say you're a leader, you're like, if you're a supervisor at the job, you're still going to take cues from what your employees are saying, so you can be a more effective leader. So I get, so I can understand it. It's going to be reciprocal regardless, because you're going to be, even if they don't tell you, their actions is going to show you, hey, maybe I need to do this, maybe I need to do that. So I think, like you said, it would be it will be reciprocal, but it's not going to be like she's telling you and something like that. If it's one side, at some point, it will lead to arguments. Yeah, and I agree with that. I don't think it should be one sided on either side, because if the man, if it's all about the women's side, and I guess, like he's saying, that it could lead to arguments. But I do think that, yeah, I mean, if they think alike, I don't think there would be that many arguments. I mean, it might be some disagreements, but it would be just straight up arguments. But if and I would agree with you on that, if she don't feel like she has a voice to say something, yeah, that's going to cause resentment and, yeah, like you said, arguments. But so I will concede to that, and I think Locario is trying to say, you should have an influence, so that these outside influences don't get in the way of your relationship. Because I'm like, especially in 2023, there's so many different outside influence that can affect your relationship. I mean, I literally, there are guys talking about Derek Jackson broke up their relationship. And I'm like, how the fuck a dude online mess with your relationship? It sounds like your relationship was trash. There should be no reason why anybody outside should be able to mess with your relationship like that. Yeah. Yeah, like I heard that, like, dude said, man, because dude was talking about that. I'm like, first of all, if some dude online that she don't know from a can of paint is able to influence your relationship was trash to begin with. She didn't respect you. You know how many times The follow unproven advice. Yeah, the follow unproven advice. And I'm like, and you see what happened with him and his wife. Like, it's like that. I even heard ladies talking about they listened to dude was talking about what Kevin Samuels said on a date. I'm like, bro, there ain't no fucking way I'm gonna break up another man on a date. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. It's weird. That's why I said this internet shit, man. It's weird, and people using this in real life, and bringing it to real life. I'm like, bro, leave that shit at home. Leave it where it needs the internet. If you listen to another man outside your relationship, and you're in a relationship with a man as a woman, you're in a shitty relationship. Same with a guy. If you listening to something like a Kevin Samuels or the Black Manosphere, and you in an actual relationship with a woman, and you bringing that to that woman, your relationship is shitty, and you trash. Man, I wish some woman would come up to me. Well, Cynthia G said that's the last time we dating. I'm like, hell no, don't talk to me about Cynthia G. But I do think there is some point to that as far as the influence. I think that the man has to have influence over his woman to counteract the stuff. Now, it doesn't have to be abusive, because I think sometimes they kind of allude to abuse. But I can see your point, D. Darrell, and his point that it should be reciprocal, and most times it's going to be reciprocal regardless whether she say anything or not. Because if you're the man and you're the leader, you're going to be watching your woman, and you're going to know how she feels, and adjust your lifestyle to that, and adjust your leadership to that. It's just like supervisors at my job. They listen to us and then they adjust. Some things they listen to, some things they say, nah, we can't do that because of the rules. And then some things they take the advice and they run with it. You know, I do think it's reciprocal. It should be, it's going to be reciprocal regardless, but it doesn't have to be like stated and all that shit, you know? As long as you're not dictated. I mean, it shouldn't lead to any arguments, because even if she don't say nothing, her actions are going to show, hey, you might need to tune up here. You need to make sure she's being happy, and you just ask her, hey, what's going on? You happy? What's going on? And you should be doing that. If you're a man, you're a leader, and you're a caring person, yeah, you're going to ask her anyway. So indirectly, it's going to be reciprocal regardless. At least that's how my marriage was, till it wasn't, you know.
Who's watching you talk is really inspired by your lifestyle, because it sounds great. You're sleeping with any woman that you want, and you have a harem of women. You have a girlfriend and a wife, but it's not realistic, in my opinion, for the average guy. I'm all about individual freedom. If that's the lifestyle that you want, that's great. But I think it's slightly cultish, and I also think it doesn't provide a woman everything that she needs, which is a partner who's loyal, who prioritizes the family and the children.
And this is the thing. I agree with you. It's not going to work for the average guy.
Yeah.
So what's going to work for the average guy is they're going to be in a relationship where the woman is going to leave him because he has no influence. This is what I'm saying. Like, what I'm talking about is a man has to be at his highest.
What do you mean by influence? Can you define that a little bit more?
So what I mean is this, is that he teaches his woman something that she doesn't know.
You're supposed to teach a child.
No, you can teach. I can teach you something right now. You can teach me something right now. But what I'm saying is, like, right, you can teach people something. But what I'm saying is, if he's a leader, he has to teach her how to be with him, how to follow his lead.
Would you like to be influenced by a woman?
No, I don't need to be influenced by a woman.
Because
I'm leading. That's what I'm trying to say. The man leads. That's what
a
I'm saying.
woman should influence her man to have some calm in his life. Like, I think a woman's influence on a man is to bring him some quiet and some solace from all the hard work.
No, but this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that since the man is the leader, since he's leading, right, he has to influence the woman so that she can follow him, so that things can flow smoothly. Just like, for example, if you're in a company, right, the
can't
CEO,
have two CEOs.
exactly, the CEO,
Yeah, but you have
has
the CEO
to
and the
influence.
CFO. Each person has their own. Each person has their own strengths. What I think when you say influence a woman is not supposed to be a masculine figure, and you are a masculine person. So what you're influencing me isn't what I provide to you. I would not want you to
No, but I'm not
teach me.
influencing you to be masculine. I'm influencing you.
Yeah, and I think that's where I think she kind of got that wrong. She's saying she want him. He's influencing her to be like him. I think it is more or less what he's trying to say is, I'm influencing to follow me, follow my path. I don't think he's trying to get her to be more masculine or be like a man, and I think that's not what he's trying to do. But that's how she's taking it. You can still influence somebody, but not want them to be like you in a sense, but follow my lead, know what I'm thinking. So in a sense, she don't have to ask a lot of questions. She know what he's going to do, so she don't have to ask a lot of questions and be questioning all the time. Now, there's some things where it's something like that's just totally out of what he usually do. Of course, she needs to question. She needs to be like, well, what's going on here? This is not out of your realm. This ain't normal. Should be questioning that. But if it's something that that's how he moves and he's moving like he usually moves, I don't think you should be, as a woman, should be questioning him every fucking time. There has to be a balance. And like you said, a lot, and like I see a lot of these relationships, it's not balanced. It's either the woman is just a fucking just letting him do whatever, or she's questioning every move he makes, and I'm like, both are bad. It's got to be a balance.
I'm influencing you to follow my lead. You see what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying is that in order for a man to have a successful relationship with a woman, right, he has to have a woman who follows his lead. The problem is that you have a lot of men who are following women's lead, because we're talking about, well, what does the woman want in her lifestyle? And, she's going to leave you if this other guy has more money, and hypergamy. Yeah. All of that is coming from the fact that the woman is not really following that man. As soon as when she's not following that man, she's susceptible to be influenced by somebody else. So the woman's going to be influenced regardless.
Or maybe just, I agree with what you're saying, and right. I promise I'll finish in just a second. It sounds to me like what you're saying is like you want your woman to love you because she is influenced by you and not because she's loyal. And the reason I'm saying is, like, if my husband said to me, I want a girlfriend, I would say, that's funny. Like, there's no way.
And you know why you would say that?
But if my husband said, I want to move closer to my parents, or I want to put the kids in a certain school, and I want this, then yeah, sure. Like, let's talk about it. I like the way you think. I want to do what you want to do.
How about this? Just to kind of put this, what percentage of men can do the lifestyle you do?
I would
percentage of men.
I would say if they apply themselves, probably 10%. And what I'm saying.
No. What? I'm sorry. What percentage of men are currently doing it?
Are currently doing it?
Meaning, wife and a girlfriend, and just like. But it's a known thing. It's a known thing.
Yeah, 10%. Yeah.
I think a lot.
Yes, a lot.
I don't think it's 10%, man. Then they're being generous on that show. I do not think it's 10%. I think it's way less. 5, and I'm being generous. And then you talk about way Locario doing it, where it's open on both ends, probably less than 1%. I don't know. D-Rev, you still in here? What do you think? What the percentage of men could do this, where they can have a wife and a girlfriend, and everybody knows what's going on? What's the percentage of that can actually happen? How many men can do that and keep it for, like, let's just say Locario? He been married to his wife 15 years and he had his girlfriend for 4 years, less than 5. That's what I was thinking. And to do it even how he's doing it, open, like both ends, less than 1% in my mind. That 10% is being generous, very generous. I do not see 10%. I see 5, where it's just open on his end. Then on both ends, shit, 1% at best. I'm still being generous, man. I don't, and I'm not talking about hell no, 10%. That's why hell no, 10. That's what I'm saying. 10%. He being generous, very, very generous. I don't see 10% of men being able to do that, even if they are the bringing home all the money and everything is great. I don't see 90. I don't see even 10% of the women is going to be cool with this guy having a girlfriend. Known, like everybody knows what's going on. They ain't gonna be, and especially you talking about the black community. Nah, man. We came and agreed on polygamy. We can't agree on polygamy. This is hell no. We already know this ain't gonna happen, bro. Yeah, I'm yeah. That's a like I said, you gotta be a certain type of guy to make that work. You gotta be a certain type of guy to make that work. You're not gonna be able to do that just some dude making 40, 50K, man. Shoot, you gotta be hell, even you got millionaires that can't even pull that off. You know, and just let's just say, even if everybody knows, if you're a celebrity, it's gonna be hard to pull it off, even if you're a celebrity, because you got social media out here now. We saw what happened with Kevin Hart, and I believe that thing was I think that lady did know, but because everything and everybody was all in shock, he had to go on an apology tour. Yeah, it's very hard to pull off. I mean, can it be done? Yeah. Can most men pull that off? No. Will most women accept it? Hell no. Like you said, you gotta have a certain type of man and a certain type of woman in order to pull that off. And they gotta put their jealousy to the door. And yeah, I don't see that happening. He's saying 10%. I'm like, 10% now. You way too generous, Locario. But I get it. I mean, that's his business model. He got to sell it. He got to. But I mean, let's be honest, man. To the lifestyle he talking about, ain't many people gonna be able to pull it off. And that's just within the people around them. Let's not talk about everybody else outside. Like I said, this stuff was not meant to be put out there in the public. This meant to keep, hidden in the background. It's just. But anyway, let me skip around. But I wanted that dialogue there because. So I'm gonna skip around a bit, and we're gonna go here. Trademark. Okay.
When they say it's closed on their end, the woman's sleeping with other guys. She's just not telling them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that would fuck me up. It would just fuck me up.
Question.
How do you deal with that?
No, because see, that's the thing. Like, as a man, you got to focus on you. The problem is, and shout out to my dude K Zaggin 20, he's a dating coach. He said that a lot of men's insecurities stem directly or indirectly from sex. And so most men think that women aren't as sexual as them or even more sexual in certain situations. Like, they even said, like, they had studies that said, like, women could have up to 70% of women could have like 20 orgasms in one sex session.
Yeah.
See, they said that the clitoris, right? So they say that the clitoris has twice as many nerve endings as the head of the penis, right? So women love sex. You understand what I'm saying? And so what happens is that I'm not focused on what my wife or girlfriend is doing. I'm only focused on what I'm doing at all times. And I'm only focused on what they're doing with me. So what happens is that I'm in a situation where, because I love myself, I'm not worried about other people. Because check this out, my wife and girl can leave me at any time. So my happiness isn't predicated on anyone but myself. And so what happens is when people get in relationships, they get caught up in being so attached to their partner or whoever they're with, that they start to attach their happiness to that person. So whenever that person is doing something or another thing, they start to feel bad inside of, with themselves. So what I'm saying is I'm enjoying myself with my girlfriend and wife, and I'm also enjoying myself doing my thing on the side. And I'm like, you're free to do you, I'm free to do me. But that can't happen.
Neither will. Quick question. Your thoughts on that whole line? Anyway, look, I get what he's trying to say, and I do agree with it to an extent. Like, you don't want. Well, I do tend to see, especially with the insecurity with sex, you hear a lot, especially recently, dudes talking about penises. They talk about other men's penises, their penises. And I'm like, Negro delusion. I knew you were going to say something like that. I knew you were going to say something like that. But I do agree with him that insecurity with sex, indirectly, directly, because I've said it in a lot of chats. They need to leave the weed, Henny, Coke, and porn alone. Because that porn be messing dudes up. They worry about these women body count, and that is an insecurity with sex. They just want big penises and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, why are you talking about another man's penis? I mean, you heard of King Rich's Diderell, the guy that Joyce Purley signed to her company doing his podcast. I don't know if you probably heard of him. But he was talking about, he was literally telling a woman, "Oh, you like big penises," and the woman saying, yeah, we like certain size penises, but no. You like big penises, and if you have a bunch of big penises, then you wouldn't want a small penis." And I'm like, why are you telling that woman how she likes penises? Have you have you felt a have you felt a penis before? Yeah, he's from Britain. Yeah, he's with Just Pearly. He's trying to tell the woman how she should take a penis. Like what are we doing here? How am I going to tell a woman what penis to like? I never felt the penis. What the what is this? This is what I'm saying. That these dudes need to leave that weed, henny, coke, and porn alone. That porn, especially that porn be messing dudes up horribly. You know, they've been watching all that porn, see these dudes with they see how these dudes are packing, and they think, oh, that's what the women want. It's like, no, look, I have seen women getting drilled with bunches of penises. They get up and they go with their husband. The husband's filming everything, and well, sometimes he's filming, sometimes he's not. After she got through with her, she's not leaving with the guys who drilled her. She's leaving with her husband. The issue is, like I said, men have an insecurity with sex, and a lot of that stems from this porn. And you're thinking that, oh, if this dude come with a bigger penis, she's gonna leave you. It's like, no. And size, I'm not gonna say size don't matter because that's ridiculous. But it's how you do it. And also the biggest thing is foreplay. Dudes don't know how to do foreplay. Me, I had to master foreplay. And I tell you, you master foreplay, you have less work in the bedroom. Less work. If you just pounding away, yeah, you gotta work for it. Yeah, you're gonna pound her, you gotta work. I'm like, I'm not about to work fucking 2-3 hours. Nah, bro. Not doing that. I got work in the morning. I gotta go to work. We ain't have no 10-hour sessions. That's why foreplay is so important, man. You ain't doing no foreplay. And again, because guys obsess over it, they over obsess over it. That's why they worry about the body count. That's why they worry about that. Worry about who she been with and all that. You're comparing yourself to another man. You should be worried about she with you right now. That's who you should be worried about. If you worry about who else she been with, it's already over before you even begin. You know, Ty City said it best. I'm that nigga. You should be in the sense of I'm that guy. She's with me because I'm that guy. I don't care who she talked to. Like when I was married, I wasn't worried about the cheating. I wasn't worried about all that stuff because I know what I was doing. And if she left, she left. Okay, you gone. Yeah, I left my wife. Guess what? She still came back. She still wanted to come back. She had a dude who allegedly had a bigger penis than me. Still came back to me. You know, so what does that say? It's like the penis is not everything. Now you do need to provide pleasure. That's what you're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, penis size don't matter. Who you are as a person. And guess what? If you're not getting her there, she's gonna help you get her there. If she really cares about you and she wanna be with you, she's gonna help you get her there. She's gonna teach you. That's why, like, I when we in the bedroom, not to make this more sexual thing, but I'm just gonna say this one thing. I tell my woman to play with herself. Why am I doing that? So I know how to touch her. So I know how to get her that, what to touch, what not to touch. If you learn all that, your penis size, you ain't gonna work that hard. Because she's already there. She's already revved up and ready to go. You ain't gotta put in much work. But dudes don't think about that. No, the penis is everything. The penis is everything. No, the penis is not everything, bro. And stop worrying about what other dudes have done. You know, because one, most time, most women are not gonna tell you the whole truth. And two, it shouldn't even matter anyway, because again, she with you. She with you for a reason. You don't have enough confidence in yourself. So I mean, and I get it from his end when he talking about the whole insecurity. That's why he let his woman go mess around and do whatever, because he's not worried about the sexual aspect. Again, I understand that from the sense of you don't want to make it the focal point in your life to where you're obsessing over it, and that could be a problem. You know, you can't be obsessing over it, because that's when it leads to now you stalking her and you sending private detectives or follow her around. Like, no, I'm not doing all that. No, if I think she's cheating, I'm out. It's just, if I think she's messing around, I'm out. This is how it's gonna go. You know, have that discussion and be worried about what's going on. Shit, I got things to do. I got bills to pay. I got to work. I ain't bringing my stuff to work. I know better than that.
For everybody, because a lot of people are not equipped.
But at the same time, you're helping them at the same time get their life together to where they feel like it's guidance. They still want to be around you.
Exactly,
You're high value
right.
to where you could do what you want to do, right?
Right. That's
All
that's
right.
what I'm saying.
So,
Locario,
I have a
you
quick question. I have a quick question.
do you
I have a quick question for him. Does your wife or your girlfriend have any kids?
No.
No. Do you think your lifestyle is influenced because your only responsibility is to worry about yourself, not children?
No, I think
that brought that up earlier.
if I had kids, that would be part of my lifestyle too. You see what I'm saying? So anything that I do is under my guidance and leadership regardless. So I make a choice to do what I do.
So if you
right.
did
So if
have
I had kids, I would make a conscious choice to have kids and make that happen.
But if you did have kids and you guys are both in open-end marriages, you would have to be okay with other men being around your kids. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, it just depends.
And influencing them, because you said influence is important. So
Right.
you would be okay with other men influencing your kids and your wife if you had kids.
Right. So what I'm saying is this: if any person my wife chooses,
Yeah.
is because of my influence.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about the guy she's choosing, because the guy she's choosing is a reflection of what I taught her. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's
real quick, because I do want to move on and touch some men.
Okay. Now I do want to touch on that part. Like, is she assuming that this woman's gonna be bringing the kids on a date? Because I'm trying to understand something. Okay. because I don't know how many women are bringing their kids on a date. If you're going out on a date with a guy, bringing that many, how many of these women are bringing their kids on the date? You know, especially in this situation, they got a father. Why would you be bringing the kids around this other guy if they already got a father? I can understand that if he wasn't in the picture like that, they would separate. But if, I don't know, hell, that was a weird question to ask, because I'm like, I can understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, that happens when mama got a life too. Mama got a life too. No, no, I'm saying if they are separate, I can understand if they will separate, because that does happen. She should put her life on hold. Who's saying that? My mother dated. My mom and dad separated. My mom was dating. They would bring him to the house. You know. And of course, my mom was dating losers. Unfortunately, my mother, her choices in guys left a lot to be desired. Yeah. She had one good one out of the bunch. Was my stepfather. Well, he would have been my stepfather. I still consider him my stepfather. He would have been my stepfather, but he passed away before they got to marriage. Because I believe she would have married him. But the guy before my stepfather and the two guys after that, oh Lord. I was like, yeah, when mom stopped dating, I was like, yeah, it was best. It was best you stop. this don't even make sense. Who you bringing here? But no, and again, I'm trying to understand like that question, because it's, is she bringing men, if she's on a date, let's just say Locario and his wife have children. I don't think the wife's gonna be bringing the children on a date with her. Now maybe they bringing them to the house or something like that. Now that might be, but then again, I'm like, if it's not gonna go past marriage, why would you bring the man to the house? You know, so many confusing questions with that, and you know, and that kind of seemed like that might be some. Heck, my head hurts thinking about that. Let me keep going. But no, I don't think women should be putting their life on hold for children. The only time I would say you probably should, if the children are having issues, yeah, you might want to focus more on the children. But if the children are okay, and go date. But I think that's an individual choice at the end of the day. If you're not bringing the kids around every man, that could be problematic. But if you dating and the children don't know until she for sure is serious, I don't have a problem with that. So but if the children are having issues, and I think you need to focus on the children. That's just my opinion on that.
men. Just kidding. I have one more question for you, and then we're gonna move on. Period. Do you love your wife?
Oh, absolutely.
You love your wife.
Hell yeah.
Do you love your girlfriend?
Hell yeah.
Who do you love more?
Me.
You love you more.
I love me the most.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. You're first. Respect.
Exactly.
Who do you love more, your girlfriend or your wife?
They're basically at the same.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're both. It's me here and then they're here.
Would you
If somebody
sacrifice
after
yourself
15
for a
years
woman,
is like,
for
yeah,
your
this
woman?
bitch 4
You said
years.
You said what I what?
Would you?
equal.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Mhm.
Would you put yourself in danger to protect your woman?
Would I
Because you
put
said you love yourself first.
Mm.
Would you put yourself in danger to protect your wife or your girlfriend?
Would I put myself in danger? That's an
In
interesting
harm's
question.
way.
I wouldn't put myself in danger, but I would protect them. And if danger is there, then yeah, it just is what it is.
Well, if you're
So-
protecting, there would have to be danger.
Let,
or-
let me,
necessarily.
let me ask you this question.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. Well, I get the idea of would you put yourself in danger. I don't think you should be literally putting yourself in danger. But yeah, danger coming. Guess what? I'm gonna face it head on. I'm not gonna invite danger. I think I get what she's trying to say. Like, I don't think you should invite danger, but yeah, it's kind of like, and the other thing, and I remember this was there was a guy at the anime convention I was with. He was talking about polygamy, and he explained polygamy way better than a lot of these dudes online, even on the pro-black side that talk about polygamy. I'm like, it's like when they talk about it, it's like I don't see no woman really going to be down with this shit that you selling. I'm like, no. But there was this Indian guy, and he broke it down way better. I wish I would have recorded it so I could really, I did put the on. I did share it here. I'm gonna try to share it again, but he explained it way better than anybody that I thought of in the terms of, and he was talking about what Locario was kind of alluding to is that your relationship with one woman and with another woman is going to be, that's their relationship. You can't be comparing, which a lot of people tend to want to compare, and like, no, everybody has their own different relationship. I also agree with him on the whole thing. He loves me. He loves himself more than the women. I think that's important because when a lot of guys do get in a relationship, they throw so much on these women that they lose themselves in the relationship. You can't do that. You gotta love yourself more than them, because like I said, they can leave at any time. So, and you got to be prepared for that in your mind. You got to be prepared for that. A lot of guys, and I would say women too, but a lot of guys don't have that in their head that they're gonna leave, and then when they leave, a lot of these dudes get devastated. Where they were cheating, doing all crazy shit, or they were doing everything they were supposed to do. You got to have that in your mind and love yourself more. That, listen, if she go, she go. You want to mess with another dude? Okay, go. Bye. You do have to put yourself first in the sense of, if she want to leave, she can leave. I think one of the best songs that I ever heard about a relationship that was very powerful was by Music Soul Child and Mary J. Blige. If you leave, I'll be okay. I don't want you to leave, but if you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm not gonna hold you back. And I think that's a life you gotta be. You have to have that in your mind, especially as a man. You gotta have that in your mind. Look, she gonna go, she gonna go. There ain't nothing you gonna be able to do to stop it. You have to be prepared for that and have the plan in place so that, hey, you go. I'm gonna be good. Financially, I'm gonna be good. Mentally, I'm gonna be good. Yeah, I'm gonna be broke. I'm gonna be heartbroken, but it's not gonna be as devastating to where you wanna, self-delete or self-delete delete her. You see a lot of dudes be one delete her, delete the new boyfriend. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not going to prison for no woman. Period. I'm not going to prison for no woman. Cause she left. Nah, I work in a prison. I seen the lifestyle that happens. I see how these dudes are getting messed up in their brain because of being in prison. No, and I'm a correction officer going in there as an inmate. Not a good idea. So I agree with him on that one. So
In a sense.
I know everyone feels like they're coming at Locario now,
Oh, no,
but your
keep going.
lifestyle's
Keep going.
wild, brother. Your
On this
lifestyle's
topic,
wild.
there's a lot in it.
That must feel weird for your wife, for her to hear that you love this girl you've only known for 4 years just as much as her, and she's your wife. How do you think she feels about that? I'm sure you've had this discussion.
Right. Well, the reason being is because me loving my wife, right? She understands why I love her, and then my girl understands why I love her. So there's because they're both different people, right? There's a different energy that is happening when I'm with each of them, right? So my love for my wife doesn't take away from my love for my girl, and vice versa. My love for my girl doesn't take away my love for my wife. So what happens is that the reason why my wife even loves the fact that I love my girl and vice versa is because it's a reflection of the type of man that I am. So she understands, my wife understands how real my love is because of how much I love my girl and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? Because she's seeing that in me, regardless of what's going on.
And I've heard you say, like, what are your thoughts on love? You've encouraged men not to find love, or I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No. I say men should love women how God loves children, loves people. I don't think men should fall in love. So if you're falling in love as a man, you are not focused. You're in your emotion. And so if you're falling in love or you're in love with a woman, you're not able to think straight, and therefore you're not able to lead correctly.
Well
said. What I'm saying?
All right, shifting gears. Right now, Nat, does there
okay. That's a lot to take hold. Now, like I was saying earlier about that, the guy who was talking about the polygamy, he said something similar, that your love for these different women is different. It's not going to be the same because it's different. You love them for different reasons. That's what he said. Now, how you can do that, I don't know. But but now he was saying that the whole men should not fall in love. They should seek love, but not fall in love. I can understand that to a degree of you don't want to get lost in love because you do tend to lose objectivity, especially when you're talking about you dating and even in marriage, you do kind of lose objectivity. And it's just like with my ex, like, love her. I still love her to this day. But when I was falling in love with her, there was a lot of things that I let I let slide, mainly because of, I was in love with her, and some things that were some red flags that I probably should have, in my clearer head, probably would have never dealt with. But when you're in love, you ignore those things, and so I agree with him on that. Easy to say, hard to put in practice. Very hard. It's very hard to put in practice. Yeah. Very hard.
For the chats today,
Emotional. I think what happens is they're trying to mimic women, and either subconsciously or consciously.
Back in the day, playing for me was, here's a ball, basketball, football, get your outside in the park and go play. Now you're on a screen, you're in a house, you're in a dark room, you're basically emasculated as a man. Then you get bombarded with your toxic masculinity, So put down Andrew Tate, put down Fresh and Fit, stop watching Locario, stop watching the SOS Cast, start being more of a woman. It's like weird. And then if you want to get biological with it, testosterone levels have dropped every year by 1% year over year. Obesity levels are up. Men are fat, men are soft, and physical activity is down. Men got no chance. And then just to couple on that with stats, 2016, there were stats. This is 2016. It's probably only gotten worse. They polled men in Britain, in the UK. Only 2% of British men rated themselves completely masculine. 2%.
Wow.
Okay. And then we know now that in 2020, 1/3 of men under the age of 30 have had no sex in the last 12 months, getting no, and OnlyFans had 50 million paying customers. Shout out to the ladies that are doing OnlyFans.
Shout out to y'all.
So women, no wonder it is becoming more apparent that women are struggling to find worthy men because men are assuming more feminine roles. Ladies, is this a problem that you're running into? So let me ask a specific question. 10 dudes holler at you. Who is even worthy that you would put into that manly category? What would you say?
Well, I'll say number one, if my guy is on OnlyFans consuming content, for me, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah. Okay.
I find
a lot of deal breakers with Brody.
Well, not that many. I mean, yeah.
Don't cheat on me. Don't lie to me. Don't be on OnlyFans. Okay.
In Western society, unfortunately, that's a lot to ask for. But where I'm from, that's the norm. So I would say in a place like Miami, it is very, very hard to find the kind of person that will be a good father, which is ultimately what I really care about, and a good partner. But first and foremost, a good father.
Based on 10 men, how many would you say are worthy of being in that?
Again, it depends geographically. Depends where I'm at.
Here, I mean, wherever you're at.
Like maybe 0.5%.
Not even one. Step your game up, gentlemen. Kiana.
Question again?
How many men, if you 10 men approach you, how many would you say, all right, this guy's kind of got it going on. He's checking all the boxes, so to speak.
Like she said, 1%, 2%?
Yeah. Okay.
Not really. Because like I said, I'm not looking, but I look for more. So a lot of
not that many
average
men.
won't even.
Ladies, Jamie, Emily, how many men's men run up on you? 1 through 10.
Men's men?
Yeah, like a man's man.
I don't even know what that means anymore. I feel like
Yeah, I would say I like to call them modern males. I don't like to call them men.
Down and just for 5 minutes, I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Right. And I basically was gifted a book men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, we're from fucking different planets over
Yeah.
here. Turns out.
Right.
Turns out I'm from fucking Mars, not even Earth. And the Venus flytrap over here is doing this. So I've struggled so much with this being present thing. And I think a lot of men are struggling with that. Now, modern men, they may not be alphas. They might be good protectors. They might not be good providers. They're not making money, but they're very in touch with their feelings, and they're very sensitive, and they're very emotional. And that's something that I've struggled with. So I know that you deal with a lot of men. You deal with some women. What do you think is the most problem with men in your mind?
Yeah, I would say I like to call them modern males. I don't like to call them men because that's an insult to men. But shout out to my dude Steve the Dean. But yeah, a lot of modern males, like you said, they're very emotional. I think what happens is they're trying to mimic women, and either subconsciously or consciously, and they're trying to mimic women because they don't actually want to be men, and so that's really a big issue right there. So I think nowadays, so many men, they've gotten so comfortable, or I should say, a lot of males gotten so comfortable not being men. I think that's what's going on.
Gotcha. So here's some stats for you guys, by the way. So we had you said earlier about men are soft these days, men are weak, and then all the girls were like, it's kind of what we're seeing.
And I can agree with that to an extent because again, if you look at where there's a chance for men to be physical and be men, you can't do that in the workplace. You can't do it outside because let's just say you start swinging at a guy and fighting. Yeah, you can get arrested. A lot of the stuff that makes men is a lot of times battle, conflicts. Most time, only time men get that conflict is usually if you're doing boxing, MMA, you're doing football, basketball, baseball to a degree. Other than that, most guys are not really getting physical. And there's no need to get physical. So I would agree, yeah, a lot of dudes are soft. Get soft, they get fat, and you're sitting at a desk all day and you're not eating the right foods. I mean, let's face it, a lot of this food out here ain't helping you. In the Black community specifically, are with the added stress of racism, the added stress of stuff that is systematically keeping us from getting adequate work. The only time dudes really get physical, like when they get into prison, they ain't got a choice. Or a lot of times when dudes really getting strong, pumping their iron and getting strong, is like when they're in a situation where they have to be that way. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. Like either in the prison, military, or in the military. I wouldn't even put police officers because you see some fat police officers. Even when I work in the correctional officers, you got a lot of big dudes. I'm one of them. Y'all seen my picture. But their dude's bigger than me. And I'm like, how the fuck? How does this work? How the fuck this work? But that's because when it's quantity over quality. So now when you have a situation where everything is like men don't have to hunt, men don't have to be as protected. You got the pistol. If you ain't got to fight, you ain't gonna hand to hand. Well, guess what? People gonna get fat. You're spending more time online than we do offline going outside. Well, hell, this is what's going on, and the women are not as attractive. You couldn't back in the day. You can kind of get away with being heavy if you have something going on. if you got some money, if you got a status. Now, not so much. And of course, you add in the porn, OnlyFans, stuff like that. Guys are not really trying to be in shape to get with a woman. You ain't got to do that no more. You can go OnlyFans. You can go buy an escort. That's very prevalent now. And you ain't got to be the best looking to get an escort. You can go certain places and get sex, and you ain't got to be the best looking guy out there. So yeah, I see Locario's point. People getting soft. So let me continue.
You should seek counsel from other men.
Of course.
Yeah.
But are you
Yeah.
only seeking counsel from other men?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna seek counsel from a woman. How are you
I
gonna
don't like
counsel me?
that.
Do you not want to be in a
That's
relationship
what-
with a
that's
woman?
Brody.
No, I want to be in a relationship with a woman, but I'm not going to seek counsel.
I
from
feel
a
you
woman.
on
I
that.
But
can't
how
do
I
can
feel
that.
you
you
be in
on
a
that.
relationship with a woman without seeking counsel from her?
Because our relationship is I direct, you follow. So
Yeah.
how am I?
There's
no
some pretty
counsel.
clear studies.
You want a child.
and-
you
and
don't
I
want
understand-
a partner.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say there's some pretty clear studies that relational success, the man leads, yes,
Mm.
but there are times where he takes feedback, where he
Mhm.
takes on her opinion, and if he's ignoring her consistently, if he's like, "Nah, you're wrong. I'm the leader here. I have nothing to learn from you," she's going to divorce his ass. She's not going to live with that for 20, 30 years. No
Well,
way.
No, when I say
No,
seek
it's not.
counsel, I'm thinking you're talking about like I'm
Oh,
having a
but save me,
problem, I'm
baby.
issues,
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
cry on your shoulder and tell you all my problems.
Totally
That's what I thought you're talking about with seeking
No.
counsel. I don't think men should do that.
Yeah,
with
I don't
agree.
like men that say that they shouldn't do that.
Right, that's
I
what,
agree.
that's what I was saying. That's what I
no for me.
was thinking when you're talking about seeking
Mhm.
counsel. I'm like, no.
Okay.
No, I like men who do that. I don't like the men that think that they can't do that.
To a-
Seek
with a
counsel
woman?
with their woman.
Oh
Yes.
no, your pussy's gonna dry.
I think to a certain extent,
To an
you are
extent.
correct. To a certain
Yes.
extent, being too emotional with your wife is,
Yes.
it seems a little bit not masculine.
Mhm.
But I think, 100%
Mhm.
your wife should be able to be there for you when you're having a
Mhm.
struggle and a hardship. Because
Mhm.
what is a woman there
Oh
for
no,
other
I
than,
could agree with that.
I mean, other than physical,
agree
what
with
else
that.
do you need her for?
No, I
To
could-
raise your children? Like,
No, I could agree with that.
You
I'm
can have
just
a
saying that a
housekeeper.
man should never, ever seek counsel and confide in his woman. I don't
I'm saying
think
in his woman.
yeah, like
Gotcha.
to be like,
I
hey,
feel
I'm
like
struggling.
What about
Sometimes-
what about a woman who's, whether it's in business or friendship or anything
Mm.
like that? Can a man seek counsel on that type of woman?
I mean, I don't know because I don't believe in being friends with women, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, wow. Well, like as an example, Nat and I debrief after every show. We have
Mhm.
conversation. We
oh, I
say
love a good
this went
debrief.
good, this didn't go
Yeah, but you
good.
guys are
You
business
should do this
partners.
next
Y'all are
time.
when I talk about friends, I'm talking about like friends. Like Miles is my friend. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't have women.
But
friends
slap
like
a
that.
vagina on him and fuck that guy. Huh?
Listen, my
mean,
best friend
just
is
to-
a guy.
Well,
Just
hold
to-
on.
just-
Back up because I do want to get Brody
Let me
and
pussy
Kiana's
from
thing. When I said the qualities of a man, was there one word that stuck?
Yeah, there was a lot of pushback on that one because it's like, okay, and I can understand that to a degree what he's saying. Like, you don't want to seek counsel, you don't want to be crying on a woman's show. I think again, it has to be a balance. You know, what we got now is a lot of dudes being overly emotional and crying, and especially online, it's like, God damn, dude, can you stop bleeding all over the panel? Dudes are crying. I'm like, oh my God, would you please shut up? God, it'd be like tough to listen to. I remember that Ricky Williams on the Latif Network boo-hooing and crying all over the panel because these women wouldn't acknowledge him for being the good man. And I'm like, man, can you please take off the panties. God damn, stop crying. That I know it fucking annoys me. I hate that shit. I can about imagine a woman have to deal with it. I'm like, man, I know that. Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, dude, shut up. I want to hear that shit. I wants to hear that crazy crap. Look, and I think you can get feedback. And like I said, like the earlier conversation about influence, it can't be on some you the fucking dictator, but it also can't be where it's just everything. You can't make a move without the woman either. It has to be a balance. If it's not balanced, it's going to cause problems either way. And you know, I get what he's saying. You should see counsel with other men, talk to other men, and you know the whole thing about women being friends. My thing about the women being friends thing is like the friendships that I seek with women. I never seek to be friends with women. It just happens. Like that was my ex-wife, our friendship before we became. I didn't even seek that friendship. It just happened. I didn't seek it. I wasn't. You know, she started talking to me, and you know we just connected. But I never seek to be friends with her. It just happened to happen that way. Like the white chick I was friends with, I didn't seek to be a friend with her. I didn't seek it. It just, you know, it happened. And when it happened, you know, like we became friends. She was one of the things that made me say white women are not this great magical women that all these dudes try to make them out to be. I'm like, that chick was crazy as cat shit. Then I met some of her friends. They were crazy and cat shit. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not with the whole white women are great and everything. That's just not me. But like I said, I understand what he's trying to say. You know, friendships, all that is with men because you have a cover. They finally caught up. Hey, Sexy Red, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Got the famous Sexy Red up here, making these men mad as hell. Making them mad as hell. I like, damn, y'all, you on that level of pissing dudes off. It is magical. Magical, man. And let's continue this.
For
Got
sure.
you?
Discipline, 100%.
Ooh, what is it about discipline that you
Ooh.
respect?
I think it's knowing there's a time and a place to give in to your carnal desires, and that when it comes to the long term, you need to have discipline and consistency. And I also find it very physically attractive seeing a person who's disciplined, who goes to the gym every day, who goes to work every morning on time and is dependable and reliable.
Okay. Kiana.
I kind of like the same thing too, the discipline part, because I'm very
is by not following his lead. So if you notice your woman is not following your lead, or any woman you're dealing with at any point, you need to get rid of her. immediately.
That's it.
That's it.
First time she disrespects
First
you.
time is done. We're
She
finished.
could be with you for 14 years. That's
Yes.
your wife. You disrespect me once, you out.
No. What I'm saying is she won't be my wife if she's disrespected me before. You see what I'm saying? She has to go through the
but
thing.
let's say she's great, ideal girlfriend. You marry her, but in 15 years, at some point, she's gonna maybe.
So
she's
how
not
does
gonna do it.
How does she ever set a
Do
boundary?
you
with
have
you?
a robot, mate?
No.
How does she ever set a boundary with you?
No, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're looking for 100% cooperation.
So she can't have any boundaries.
No.
Any
So
opinions,
if I meet
any boundaries.
No, that's what I'm saying. If I meet a woman today, right, and I say, hey, let's go out and get a drink, and she says, no, I don't want to get a drink with you, but you could take me to dinner. That's resistance. That's her not listening to me. So
That's
at
her
that point,
speaking up.
right? So at that point, I don't talk to her anymore. We're finished.
So you don't want a woman who has
But what
any
about
boundaries,
15
any
years?
opinions.
No. I
That's
want.
a
This is what I'm
child.
saying. When I talk
You're
about
looking for a
boundaries,
child.
hold on. We're talking about a woman wanting to be a part of my program. That's what I'm saying. And if she
You're
wants
wanting
to,
a woman with no opinions. And
no, that's what I'm saying.
boundaries at
Her
all.
opinions align with my program. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
Right.
if a person wants to work at Google, I'm Google. It's her idea to work at Google. So that's her opinion. That's her thing she wants. I'm not telling her to do it.
She can't push back on anything at all. Anything she wants, if you're behaving a certain way, if she wants to give you feedback, it's just none of that. She's
No.
gone.
She can give me feedback. I'm just talking about her not following me. So what I'm saying is, if I say,
Let's say she says,
so if I
you said
say-
you wanted to go out that night, and she says, babe, I don't want to go out tonight.
no, I'm saying this. If I tell that woman to pass me a hammer, I just want you to pass me the hammer. Now, once I get the hammer, you could ask me, so what is the hammer for? Don't ask me what the hammer is for before you go get it. I don't need you to question me before you go get
What
the
if
hammer.
you're like
You
homicidal
sound
and
like
you're
a
like, oh, babe,
No,
can I
this
have
is-
that gun? Bitch, I'm not gonna give you a fucking gun.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Look, you seem like you treat women well. You
Right.
seem like you do polyamory
Right.
well. You
I'm a
seem like
little
a good guy.
nervous.
My concern is that the young men listening to this hear that and go, "Oh, look at this alpha guy saying a woman can never have an opinion with me.
I
Can
never,
never set a
that's what I'm saying. I
boundary."
never said she can't have an opinion. Her opinion
You said she has to follow
aligns with
everything
my
you say.
program. So
But
her,
it won't always.
It
She's
won't.
a human.
no, but
She's
this,
different
but
to you.
But
She's
this is what I'm
going to
saying.
have
She
her
won't
own.
be with me though. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like what I'm saying is that her wanting to be with me is her giving 100% cooperation consistently. So I'm not saying she can't. Like if we talk about what TV show you like, well, I like this, I like that. You can have a different opinion on what TV show you want, but if I'm giving you directions, if I'm
How
leading
long
you,
that direction you feel like how long you feel like that has grown from a month, a year, where she
it has
feel
to happen
like,
all the time, the whole time.
So from the beginning,
That's
she
exactly-
got
From the beginning.
Do you ever
Yes.
argue with your wife about what show
Never.
we're gonna watch?
No, we don't argue.
Sorry.
We don't
Well,
argue.
But
so
you
let's
have
say you want to watch the game and she
Uh-huh.
wants to watch Real Housewives of
Mhm.
Beverly Hills.
Right.
Do you even have a debate over the remote?
No, never. Nope.
Dude,
No,
you're
she
living in
doesn't.
you're
This
living in
is- this is-
utopia.
but
Here's the thing.
You're living in
That's-
utopia.
Since I have a woman in the chat, Sexy Red. Let me ask you. Now, do you agree with what he's saying? Like, if, like, the first part, like, if he's saying to you, look, I want to take you out, go to drink, and you tell him, hey, I'd rather go to dinner, and he don't talk to you then, do you think he's right in that, wrong in that? Is that right or wrong with that? Or what are your thoughts on that one? Now, I can understand that in the sense because you don't want to be in a situation where this woman can change your mind at any time. Where, okay, you, like, for instance, I set up a date. We're going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and then we'll go bowling. That's the set date. That's what I want to do. Now she's like, no. Well, I don't like drinking on empty, plus I'm fat, so I wouldn't take it first. I'm not what he like. No harm, no foul. And that's how it should be, you know. And that's how it should be. And like, don't take it personal. But I understand from where he's coming from. It's like you don't want to be where if she could just change your mind on everything. That doesn't make you a good leader. You know, and it also goes into like why some dudes be like they so mad at women because I was taking advantage of. Well, what were you doing? Because if he wants to go somewhere, I'll go with him. Yeah, and and you know that's how it should be. Look, if you're interested in the guy and he's asking you out, I wouldn't try to change. You want to go because that's what he planned. And yeah, and that's how it should be. And I think where typically don't like changing plans that they made. No, we don't. We don't. Now there could be adjustment here and there. Now, my thing when I was going out, you know, I always had set plan. Now, if it's something that if she has a suggestion, it's within my plans, no problem. But you're just gonna change the whole thing entirely. I'm like, no, that's cool. No, I'm good. So I can understand from Locario's standpoint, you're trying to change the whole dynamic. That means you're trying to you're questioning my leadership just right off the bat. Like if a reservation takes too long, we change plans. That's cool. Yeah, but change everything entirely. Like a reservation when we change plans, that's cool. But change everything entirely is really selfish. Yeah, and that's what, and I think that's where some of the women and Mark, and you know, he's a female dating coach, so he's going to preserve his brand. You can't have a woman where as soon as you suggest something, she wants to change it, and you go along with it, then you're not an effective leader. That's just like as a supervisor. I've had supervisors. The minute somebody say something, then he changes his whole plans and everything. He let the officers run him, and he get in trouble. Then he want to rage or act a fool in the shit. I'm like, why they don't listen to what I'm saying? Well, write them up. Like, listen, eat it. Like they told, like some of my mentors at the prison, they told me there's two ways you can go about it. The best way is to be hard at the jump, uncompromising, whatever you plan to do. Then come down, and you could be like give and take on certain things, because that shows like, hey, you're not too much of a hard ass. If they come at you the right way, you'll give them a chance. But they know that, hey, you mean business. Or you could be even-handed where, hey, some things that you know that you hard on, some things you can bend on. But the one thing you don't want to do is be soft and then try to come hard. A lot of guys do that, especially with women. They be soft, and then all of a sudden they want to be hard. That don't work. It's better to be, in the case of Locario, be hard and then give in as be compromising later on, because now the woman knows your core values and what you will do and what you won't do, and then she can be like, hey, you know, and he might give in here and there. I was more even keel, so, but there's certain things that I'm not going to change because, you know, if I plan something, that's what we're going to go with. If, you know, that's just the way it is. And I always make sure, like in dates, it's something I want to do. That's another thing guys don't do. They do things they don't really want to do or they wouldn't normally do, and then all of a sudden, and then the one, oh, she played me. Well, hell, you let yourself get played. You doing something you don't want to do, or you're spending the type of money you don't spend, And then when you spend all the extra money or you think you get played, that's on you. I never spent more money than I'm willing to spend. I always budgeted everything. So that's why I'm like free food. No woman's getting a free thing like that. If she felt that she got a free meal, I don't care. That didn't bother me. It don't bother my pay. It don't bother my money because I've already planned for that date. I already know if I'm going on a date with you, it's already in my budget. So I don't care if it turns out bad or whatever. Oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, my motto is you can't if you worry about how much a date costs. Dating ain't your problem. Your money is your problem. You need to go fix that shit before you even think about dating. Because you worry about $100. I'm sorry. Dating, you need to stop dating. Get your money up. Get to where you're comfortable spending $100. Or if the average date costs what? I don't know now. I don't know what the average date costs. To be honest, I haven't dated in a while, so I don't know. But if the average date costs, let's just say $200, well, you need to be making money, so $200 ain't gonna bother you. If you ain't doing that, you don't need to be dating right now. You need to be getting your money up, so you can enjoy. The whole point of the date is to enjoy the person and get to know the person. If you worry about how much money you spend, you're not gonna enjoy this woman. It's crazy. But I understand from the initial, if she's trying to change what y'all plan to do from the jump, she's not interested in you like that. She's not trying to follow your lead. She don't see you as a leader, and at the end, and then it's going to be a problem later on. And I'm really surprised Mark over here is not seeing that. But again, he is a female dating coach, so he got to protect his brand because a lot of women are not going to be cool with that. So, and you wonder why some of these relationships don't turn out too well. Continue.
That's what I'm saying.
This is Saudi Arabia. This is
You
literally.
want to be a deity. You want to be a religious
Yeah,
leader.
this is
to your
Saudi
No,
Arabia.
woman.
I want to be me. I'm being me. And
I
so
know,
what I'm
but-
saying is
Yeah.
she
You're
wants
not-
to
you don't wanna
be a
be
part of
challenged in
me.
any
That's what I'm
way
saying.
at all.
So
But here's
Locario,
the thing: he's
bro-
also allowing, someone like Locario. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but then you also have to be mindful that he is allowing his girlfriend and wife to be with other men, so they can go find that somewhere else.
Exactly. Why aren't they
But you
leaving me?
still had that
Isn't
theory
that
of, like,
interesting?
I think there's
But
people
you
out
have to be
there
okay with that as a
Locario.
man. You can't just accept that.
You're
either.
always gonna
Real
do
quick,
as long as
and
you're-
that's what I mean. Like he seems to
Sorry.
do it well, but
Right.
you're preaching to guys who are going to say, "Oh, I can tell her to do whatever I want. You stay home. You do exactly what I tell you. I'm going to fuck 5 women this week. You have no say in that. This is my model." And guys are looking at you thinking, "Yeah, I can do that."
No, they can
I
though.
just-
But she's free.
I don't think it's a good model
But
for
she's
young
free
men.
to not do it. You see what I'm saying? She has every right to not do it, and then I have every right to not be with her. It's that simple. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so if she doesn't want to do it, she can.
Yeah,
go.
I will say this. At the end of the day, if it's working for him, you've been with your woman for 14 years and you're
And that's the real point that Locario is saying. He's not saying she got to accept it. She can leave. She don't have to from the jump. She can no. They're like, no. She got to have a say. She got to have a say. He's like, yeah, you have a say. You always had a say. But that don't mean you can. Well, I tend to see, and this is society, but I'm putting it on women. A lot of women want the freedom. Yeah, leaving is also an option. Yes. The thing I see is that women want freedom on someone else's dime. They want to do whatever they want to do, but on someone else's dime. You can't do that. If you want the freedom to do whatever you want to do, that's fine. But don't put it on someone else's dime, someone else's time. You want the freedom, be free. What Locario is subscribing to is true freedom. It's true freedom. But with that freedom, you're accountable to yourself. So like Locario saying, is like, look, okay, you don't want to live the lifestyle that I'm presenting, you free to go. Leave. But I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to pay with my time and my energy. You free to go, but do it on your own time. That's how I'm like, look, you want to do whatever you want to do, great, but not on my dime. Go do it on your time. I was been on that even with my ex. I'm like, look, I wasn't worried about her with another man because she's free to go at any time. She's free to go. What dudes do is that what they trying to say Locario is doing is, oh, she got to accept this and she can't say nothing and nothing like that. That's not what Locario is saying. From the jump, she's free to do whatever, but she's not going to do it over here. Over here is my way. She got to be in line with what I want to do. If she don't like it, bye. No hard feelings, no vitriol. Just go about your business. And I agree with that part. I agree with that. Because, again, you could be free, do whatever you want to do, but not on my dime. And you're not going to be asking for my protection and my provision and still want to do what you want to do, because you might do something that is going to be counterproductive to what I have going on. And it might cost me money, and in extreme cases cost me my life. Can't have you around doing that. So look, from the initial jump, oh, you don't want to go on this date? You want to change it up? Okay, no problem. That's cool. Thank you. You have a good one. And most guys, when the woman will try to change it up, they'll just go with it. And then they get frustrated and angry why these women did it. Well, you let her from the jump to do it. So now you've been letting her get away with it for so long, then you try to boss up. It's too late. You should have stopped from the jump. You know. So like you said, and then on the other end, you trying to make her, she got to stay, she can't leave. But dude, you're not even giving her a choice. I want to have all these different women, but you got to give her a choice. No, can't. No, that's weak. And no, you checking in, you weak. I'm like, no, that's not weak. That's called freedom. You're a leader. You're not a dictator. If you're gonna be a leader, you gotta give them the option to leave, come and go. That's how you truly know if this person really is down for you or not. You give her the option to come and go as she please. And you'll be surprised. Most women are not gonna leave. Because if they see value in you as that guy, most times they gonna stay. And they're gonna go with the option of, well, I just don't want to know. Don't put our business out there. Which is, again, it's gonna be harder. You got social media now. Social media has made a lot of stuff very difficult.
Your
15
girlfriend,
years.
15 years. Who's counting? Girlfriend for 4 years.
Right.
The fact that you're like comfortable
Mm.
with her being with other men and you're
Mm.
being with other women,
That makes sense.
at least she has a choice to do what she wants
Hell
to do.
yeah.
I also agree with Mark. You said 10% of men to do this.
Mm.
0.0001% of men can do this shit, Locario.
Yeah.
By the way, give yourself a little more credit, homie.
I'll just
1 out of
say-
10 men ain't pulling this shit off. And I know millionaires and billionaires and fucking ballers, they're struggling to fucking cheat on their girl. No disrespect. I'm just letting you know. Okay. So
Oh man.
that's it.
So bad.
Let's move on to the concept of attention. You know, Coach Greg Adams, he's famously phrased, a girl wants your meat, your MEAT, your money, your energy, your attention, your time. Tension is very massive for a girl. So at what point is a man giving too much attention to you? What about you, Brody?
I think, I mean, there's the whole clingy.
Right. See,
Mark.
I say shout out to Alan Roger Curry, all right, rest in peace. He says no free attention. So I think for men, when men dealing with women, you know, I say the least amount of attention the woman should get is at the beginning, and as she earns her way up, she gets more attention. So what I do is usually every girl starts out as a fuck buddy for the first 3 months, and then after that we can like go on a date maybe and do more things and get more attention. Right. So you get more attention as time goes on.
Got it.
3 months.
Let's let this one for you is for you, Locario. So, you know, this concept of being what you said.
So face is crazy.
Brody's
I'm really enjoying this, by the way.
Okay,
I genuinely
gotcha.
am.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're here. You have no idea.
No, I love it. I love
these
it.
conversations.
All right.
I truly do.
All right.
Yeah. That Brody lady over there is disgusted by her, but the woman next to him, that man, she's like, yeah, I'm with it. Like I said, when we talk about true freedom, I tell you, true freedom, people scoff at it. Like they look at you funny. Like, yeah, you free to go. Hey, I'm free to whoever you free. It's like people want freedom on their end, but for the other end, no freedom. You can't do that. It's just like people talk about censorship. They want one side to be censored. I've seen this on the Black Manosphere side, the pro blacks, the black male feminists, these divestors, swirlers, all these different people. Everybody wants censorship. They want censorship on one side, but on the other side, no, we can say whatever we want to say. We want to say whatever we want to say to certain people, but the other people can't say nothing. I'm like, no, that's not what censorship. I had this discussion on the Ebony Star Network. I said, look, you want to censor people, but here's the thing, you can't do that because eventually they're going to censor you. That's what happened a long time ago with that ad apocalypse that happened. You know, fat, you sexy. I did the real get it in. Hey, I definitely agree with you, Didderell. I agree with you. What was I saying? Yeah, that ad apocalypse. The women try to censor the guys in the Black Manosphere, but it turned. And a lot of those dudes' channels got canceled. But guess what? It turned on the women. A lot of those women things got canceled because you can't be saying crazy shit on either side. That's not going to work because people are not going to allow that. And I remember somebody said, well, you think women are going to be okay? You think they would risk cancellation to get rid of Kevin Samuels? I said, no. Because I remember it was hard times on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, man. Channels getting cut left and right. People would, woo. It was crazy. But I remember that conversation, and I said, well, nobody wants really, they don't want to cancel. They didn't want to cancel Kevin Samuels at that time because everybody needed that enemy. Kevin Samuels made a lot of people's channels pop. Cynthia G, let's be honest, was dead until Kevin Samuels popped. And that boosted her up. Now she's over, I think she got 100,000 subscribers. Before Kevin Samuels popped, she didn't have that many subscribers like that. I mean, she had subscribers. Don't get me wrong. Let's not say she was just like, ain't nobody was listening and watching her. But she was at a stalemate because of, listen, how many times you got to hear these dudes are dusty, these dudes ain't this, these dudes are the black man's rib dusty, blah blah blah. After so long, even women gonna get tired of hearing that shit. I'm like, do something else, bro. Do something else. Say something else. Get tired of that. Same with these dudes. I'm like, oh, well, these women are this, these women are that. I'm like, dude, I get tired of hearing that shit. You got something else? Jesus. It took her almost 2 years of it. Yeah. And I forgot about the baby gate, boy. That she took a hit because of that. Because it's like, wait a minute. You talk about these dudes dusty, but you got pregnant and had a baby with a dude that would be considered a dusty. Yeah. Like I said, without Kevin, shit, she wouldn't have popped off. Hey, the honest truth wouldn't have popped off. There was a lot of these women, female coaches, Dennis Sperling, Fresh and Fit. There's a whole bunch of people who, if Kevin didn't pop off the way he did, there are a lot of people channels would not be here. Because nobody would give a flying fuck about them like that. Nobody would care. A whole bunch of people owe Kevin. As much as they want to shit on his name, they want to celebrate. Nah, some of y'all need to be happy that Kevin popped off the way he did, because a lot of your channels would not be would not be where they are because of Kevin. The honest truth got caught up too. Yeah. And he got caught up. Because when Space Ghost Perp, when it was time for him to go hard against Space Ghost Perp, he folded like a chair. And that messed him up. He's still recovering from that. He still haven't recovered fully. He's not where he was before that thing happened. Now he had to change. He had to change. He had to change his content around. But he wouldn't have got to where he was, because if it wasn't for Kevin, he wouldn't have been. No, none of these divestors would have cared about what he's talking about. So like I said, man, that's why I said this whole thing of censorship, it don't mean anything. But back to like I said, with freedom, people want freedom at a cost. So when true freedom is offered to people, they don't want it. You can look at society right now. They're talking about the whole, and shouts out to Ty City, Uncut Underground. He talked about how these people, when Biden said in the state address, talking about getting rid of the fees for overdrafts and all that. And he said it like this, like, people don't want to be really in control, full control over their lives. They don't want true freedom, because true freedom means you got to be responsible for you. Nobody else is going to be responsible. And a lot of people do not want true freedom like that. They really don't. They want somebody to bail them out in case something goes wrong.
And I actually found a good question to do at the end. Here we go. Locario.
Mm-hmm.
So the knock on you
Mm-hmm.
is also the praise for you, is that you're a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
You're a bad boy.
Right.
You get the bad boy mentorship, everything. You're a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
But one would say that after being a bad boy, the next phase of life is being a man.
Mm-hmm.
When should the bad boy phase end, and when should manhood begin?
Well, see, the bad boy is not really a phase, or it's not really about being a boy. Or, you see what I'm saying? Like, the bad boy is just the opposite of the nice guy, and it's just that back and forth. So you can even say, instead of the bad boy and the nice guy, you can say the alpha or the beta.
Okay.
You can say the Mac or the lame guy. It's the same thing. So all a bad boy is a guy who's fully being himself. Do you see what I'm saying? Who's standing on his principles, who's actually being him and not doing things for women, but doing things for himself and finding women who want to be in his program. That's all the bad boy is.
By the way, that
When
last
I
point
think
I
of a
totally
bad
agree
boy,
with. Yeah.
I think of a man who's gonna give me chlamydia.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking bad.
I don't think about an alpha man. I'm like, we gotta wrap it up.
because the way that she's looking at me, I love it. You know why? Because that you're supposed to look at me that way. Because if the reason
change your
you
mind.
looking at
That's
me
the
that
thing.
way is
Turn them on.
no, it's actually like supposed to be that way because I'm actually being me and saying what I want to say.
I
It's-
support that.
No,
but
and
I
that's what
do
I'm saying.
think
It's
that
going
you're more
with-
of a modern feminist than I am.
No, because you're
Why is that?
feminine. No, because
Because he first of all wants plural wives and wants them all to sleep with whoever they
Right.
want. He also refuses to love his wife
I
or
didn't-
be in love.
I
Excuse
never
me.
said that. I
I
said
said
I
no,
love
no,
my
no. You're
wife.
right. You're right. You're right.
So-
You're absolutely right. Let me be more careful with my words. You said you refuse to fall in love with your woman.
Yes.
Your words, not mine.
Yes,
Let me be more
yes.
accurate.
Yes.
So to me, like I'm a traditional person. I want a husband who's going to be loyal, take care of my children, be that I can depend on, who will be disciplined. Disciplined, core word there. So I think that I'm more of a traditional woman than you are, or traditional
I'm not
feminist
just-
than you are, or
That's
whatever.
what I'm saying. See, this is the clash between masculine and feminine, which is how it's supposed to be. That's what I'm
But
saying.
I thought
like,
you just said that the feminine has to be under your influence and agree with you at all times.
no, I think they should. But what I'm saying is the ideas. What I'm talking
Everyone
about is
said marriage.
right.
No
What
one's
right.
talking
What I'm talking about is the
marriage.
idea. The
That's the thing.
ideas, like, because we're talking about being a bad boy.
Mhm.
What makes the guy the bad boy? People think you have to be a jerk. No, but what makes you the bad boy is she can't control you. You're not gonna agree to everything she says. You're not gonna pussyfoot
Why are you
and do what she
competing with
wants,
her?
just like all the
But
other
you're
men.
competing
Okay.
with her.
Let me,
Wait, one
let
more
me,
thing.
let me,
Can I
let
add
me
one
ask
more
the
thing?
last question. Yeah, but we have
I don't think that he's competing with. He just, hey, I'm thinking my own thoughts, and I'm not going just to bend to what you're saying. I don't think that's competing. Competing. This is what I would think competing is. If she has, if she's talking about, like, I went on a trip, and then you talking about, well, I went on a trip, and okay, and trying to make it sound better than what she doing, that's competing. What Locario is trying to say, like, look, I'm not gonna follow you. I'm not gonna fall to your every whim. I got my own thing going. You need to follow me. I'm not gonna follow you. Which I think, again, if you're talking about if you want the man to be the leader, he shouldn't be following you as a woman, you know. And men, you should be following women like that. You know, if you want to be the leader and you want to be the man and husband, like, you got to be the leader. But she's the one like why are you competing? Like, that's not competing. Just you not following somebody is not competing. If you're trying to one up somebody, like if she got a car and then you get a better car or something like that, that's competing. Not competing. And again, you shouldn't be competing with women anyway. You should be competing with men, but in the ways of getting power and getting land and stuff like that. That's where you should be competing. Compete with women for what? Anyway.
Literally have to wrap up right now.
Okay.
So here's the question, and then believe me,
That's
we can
fine,
do
go
an
ahead.
after hours. One thing I know about our friend Locario here is he's dug in. Like, you're not
Yeah.
changing my dude's mind. He's not changing.
Respect,
And there is a respect part where it's like, whether you agree with them, disagree with them, you think he's right, he's wrong, he's not changing for somebody. Cool. So here's my question. How much should you change for someone that you want to be with? Meaning, all right, here's who I am. But if a girl's like, look, I love you, but I need you to do 1, 2, or 3. Maybe it's an improvement. Maybe it's sort of an upgrade. Maybe it's changing. How much should you change? Mark, I'll give you this one.
Here's the thing. In life, you're going to change no matter what you do. Just floating along in life, various things are going to change you. You can't avoid change. So you've always got to decide, am I changing in a way I like? And one of the things a woman can bring to your life is with feedback. She can point out ways that maybe you are not 100% in line with your masculinity or discipline. Let's say you're going to build the IKEA furniture that night and you're like, babe, I'll do it. And then you don't do it, right? You're out of alignment with your word and you're undisciplined. And if you've got a good woman, she will say, hey, this is how it made me feel when you were out of alignment with your word. And she will give you feedback on that. And you go, hey, she's right. I'm changing for the better here in this relationship. What you don't want to do is change in ways you don't like or that don't resonate with you. You need to be sure that when you're changing based on anyone's feedback, whether it's, you give me feedback, you give me feedback, whoever's giving you feedback, you've got to go, okay, do I like this change? Would I appreciate this change even if I wasn't with the person? And if the answer is yes, fuck yeah.
Are open to that side.
So what you're saying is you're passing me the hammer.
Both of y'all.
I know it's gonna be magic.
He lays it down.
I'm gonna court her.
Would you even look in Mark's direction, or
I think me and Locario could make really good friends.
to pass you a hammer? How you choosing?
Oh,
But anyway, so I'm gonna wrap that up. I wasn't expecting it to take too long, but then I got engaged with people, and that usually happens when you get engaged. Time goes by. I will say that I think Locario did very well. There's people was taking shots at him, and but I think the biggest thing about Locario is that he respects men being free to do what they want to do, and I have no problem with that. And giving the women the choice to do whatever they want to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with freedom. And I think that a lot of people are not ready for that type of freedom. They want freedom, true freedom, total freedom on both ends. Most people don't want that. Especially when you're talking about when you're talking about dude talking about letting the woman sleep with other men. That's a level of freedom a lot of guys don't want. They don't even want to think about it. How and I don't think a lot of us, even the guys who are good to their wives and all that, would be good to their wives. I'm not married. I'm not really gonna be on that Locario idea of letting their wives sleep with another man or even date another man. That's kind of like some swinger polyamorous type stuff. I don't think a lot of guys are ready for that. They love it on their end, but on the woman end, they ain't gonna do it. And I think again, women not ready for polygamy because they don't want to share. They don't want knowingly, because we got a lot of relationship dudes are messing around. They know but they don't want it in their face, and they don't want everybody else to know that the man is doing that. Even though everybody will probably know, but they, they want to live in this delusional world where it ain't happening. And when you see the interaction between Locario, the women, even with Mark, is when a man is leadership, especially when you're talking about a black man being in a leadership position, a lot of people don't like that. Even in the black community, they don't like men leading like that because they never seen it. And even if they see it, they okay with white men doing it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tomorrow. Tomorrow, what I'm gonna do? There was something that happened. Um, I'm gonna talk about the Scott Adams thing, but there was also something happened on Bernard Riley's channel that Ty City mentioned, and I want to dig into that. And it kind of played into something that happened the panel I was on last night, and I really want to dig into that because I think that there is this thing that a lot of people don't want black men in the position of leadership. They don't want black men to be in full control of relationships. They don't want black men to be leaders of households, leaders in business and stuff like that. They don't want black men to do better than white men. I really think there is a such I really think there is a thing where this society really don't want black men to be as powerful, if not more powerful, than the white man. I think there's something to that. And so I'm gonna discuss that tomorrow. Because I'm gonna go look at the clips. And funny that I mentioned the honest truth, because I got a clip of him, which is why I was like, I don't care what he does. I forever will never trust this dude, and I don't know. I would not be listening to a word he say, especially you a black man. You know, it's just no. It's a no go. And I'm gonna show you a clip, and why, like I said, I call out dudes who talk about black men. I mean, white men, black women getting with white men, and how they say that they're better than them. And I as a person, as a black man, I find that weak as hell, and you're a fucking coon if you do it. But I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. I don't want to. It's already over 2 hours, and I wasn't trying to be this long. Man, I was trying not to be this long, but I like to thank D Darrell for coming through. Subscribe to his channel. Matter of fact, let me get his channel. Start doing these more. here. Here. It's not bad. Anyway. So follow D Real Life Solutions. He also doing. Sorry about that. Follow D Real Life Solutions. He's also a dating coach. You know, he can hit at you from a therapeutic standpoint. He he is a therapist, licensed therapist, and you know he can get behind the psychiatry of dating, and you know he got some good stuff on there. Also follow Sexy Red TV. She has a gaming channel, beauty channel. Sexy Red is crazy, and I'm gonna be and you know, and I like her because she's fair and balanced with everything. She's not on one side or the other. If you're doing some dumb shit, she's gonna clown you on it. And and I like people like that because I'm the same way. I don't take sides. I believe in what I believe in, and if you're doing some dumb shit, guess what? You're gonna get clown. You're gonna get clown for it. You know. I also like to thank Sugar Bum for being here. You know, she always she always show up. You know, and I appreciate for coming through. And anybody else who probably watch, please like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry this thing went longer than I thought it was going to be. I was trying to keep it shorter, but you know, when you know you look at stuff, it is what it is. So at the end of the day, Locario is Mr. Locario. Is a lot of men are going to be able to do the lifestyle that he's doing. No, but you can take certain aspects of it, like the whole thing about not following women, not being so emotional. You know, be your best self and be uncompromising about yourself. And if that woman's down, she's going to follow you, and she's going to see that you are. Let me take this out. That you are that man, and you believe in yourself. They're going to follow, and that's the best you can hope for. That's the best, you know. That's the best you're gonna. That's the best you can hope for with women nowadays, because again, we have freedom, and you have the freedom to live whatever lifestyle you want to live, black man. You have that freedom, and but in that, the women don't have to follow you. They don't have to follow you if they choose not to. That's the thing with freedom. It's freedom on both ends, and you have to be able to accept. You have to be able to accept that there's freedom on both ends, and not be looking at the women. Whether if it wasn't for the women, no, bro, is you. You are who you are, and if you're not able, if you're not able to do what you want to do, that's not anybody else's fault but you. It's nobody else's fault but you. And if you're not able to live the lifestyle you want to live, it's all on you. There ain't nobody else but you. So with that said, this is Brother Speak of the Brother Speak podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, black men, be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. Have a good one. Peace.